All right, I see that there is a drawing here, and we can talk about design, looks like.
What we're looking at here is, see that top left one with kind of witchy face? That one? Yeah, but I want to make that face kind of malleable, and I'm thinking of using the bodies at the bottom with that head. But I'm gonna adjust them a little bit. Yeah, probably something like that.
Mhm. So these are other explorations here.
Yeah.
Well, first let me talk about a couple of things with design. I think this is a much stronger design. I know it's not what you wanted, and that's fine, but it might help you to maybe tweak this design a little bit. So I like this one and I like this one. And what I like about it is that I think there are more complementary lines that work together. And I like the spacing of the elements better.
Mhm.
And the third thing would be that the flow seems to work for me, like the way things are connected. I know, understand this is the character that you want, like the look that you want, but I wonder if there are ways we can tweak it so that it's still more stronger with design. So one thing is that we've got the nose kind of up, low like this, and the face kind of wraps it, from the mouth to the jaw, there's an outward flow.
Okay.
And something about the way these lines connect, sort of this structure and this structure, they don't seem to flow well together. Another thing I look at with design is the relationship between curved lines and straight lines. There's something that works well with the curves and the straights over here that I like. What I see a lot of here is curve, 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 curve,
Yeah.
curve, curve. Somehow
Yeah.
it's like very, very round. It's like I'm looking for some straight to kind of play against the curves, you know? Not really
Yeah.
seeing that. Another thing that typically, at least in cartoon world, when you want someone to be mad, I noticed this in The Incredibles. Remember the kid? He's just being chewed out by his mom for being bad, and he's like looking
Uh-huh.
ahead, and he's kind of like got that pre-teenager grumpiness, like someone's trying to control me kind of a look. He kind of looks like this. He's got a big head, right? I don't know what his hair looks like, but his eyebrows come way, way down over his eyes to the point where, like, the circle of his eye is almost covered up with brow. So you've got his brows coming down, like the meat of his brows coming down, but the brows themselves are stuck up here. So this guy, if he were to be like that, where it actually covers it up, like that's like more intensity.
Hmm.
You've got this intensity that you don't have before. The problem is that if you have the edge of the brow a long distance
Hmm.
from the meat of the brow, like the flesh of the brow, you can't get a good range of emotion. It's something that won't
Yeah.
quite be right when it moves around. So this is kind of graphically more powerful. It speaks to us more because it's like a caricature of the emotion because it's just amped up.
Hmm.
So we'd want to bring those down. A lot of it is like figuring out flow and straights versus curves. And then the last concept is spacing. This is a little bit too even in its spacing.
Ah, yeah.
There's something where they're kind of not grouped in interesting ways. Yeah, so like maybe the mouth could be brought up here. Maybe the chin would be large, Maybe it could be like that. And then we'll bring the brows down like we said. And then see how I'm introducing a little bit of straight versus curve into the nose.
Hmm.
Maybe the ears could go like that. I think he's a little older, right?
Yeah, they're not like kid elves. They got a couple 100 years on them, so but they don't look like Yoda or anything. But they still have a kiddish look, I guess.
Yeah. So he's got big hair, right? All right. So I left his forehead big because then it makes him look a little older. Like if I brought his hair right down here, it would have made him look a little younger. But this is my super quick pass at trying to get straights versus curves, a different spacing of his features so it's not evenly spaced, and then just flow issues and dealing with the brows.
Yeah, that looks a lot better that way. I'm probably gonna have to redesign a lot of the body on that. I'll have a head and a body next week.
Yeah. Try to think of those same concepts in the body. I draw it like three
Hmm.
quarters so you can figure out flow. The body is the most boring from the front, kind of like the way the weight is distributed is kind of least interesting from the front. So you go a little three-quarter,
Hmm.
you can start to shape the spine and you get determined posture.
Would you put them in a pose or?
A little bit of a pose. Like if it has no pose at all, it just doesn't have any life. But if it has too much, it's hard to model, hard to figure out what the
Yeah.
model should be like. But yeah, just get them just a little bit into three-quarter and then yeah, I'll see you next week.
Okay, cool. Thanks.